Every woman who has ever tried to lose weight has quit. Nothing that you don't already know. But what I haven't heard anyone else talking about is the quitting zone, which is a very specific window in your weight loss journey where quitting is literally handed to you on a silver platter. You don't know it's coming and it wins every single time. I'm Holly Bertone, former FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence, now known as the Emotional Eating Profiler and Coach. My job at the FBI was to find patterns hiding in plain sight. And I've spent years reverse engineering those same pattern recognition skills to find out exactly why you can't lose weight and why everything you've tried has failed. So today you're going to find out exactly when the quitting zone hits, why your brain makes it almost impossible to push through, and when I experienced this myself, what I did to get to the other side. Now, to give you some context, this all started in late May, and I saw myself going down a slippery slope with my nutrition and my fitness. And I know enough about myself. I know that once I go down the slippery slope, it can go downhill real fast. And I know enough to be able to intercept this before it goes down that far, before it gets beyond repair. So what I did was I just decided to do a challenge with myself. And I'm like, I am going to lock in for the month of June. And I was locking in fitness and nutrition and a few other things in life. But the problem was that it was May 24th. And I'm staring at the calendar and I was like, well, do I want to kick the can down the road one more week and let this get worse? So instead, May 25th was day one. And yeah, if you're mathing correctly, the 30-day challenge for the month of June, it's now actually 37 days. It's all good. I'm making up the rules as I go along here. It's my challenge. I can make up my rules. Week number one was easy. I started going to a new gym, and the new gym it's bigger. It was just a better overall experience. And then when you think about it too, week number one, the first week, this is when your motivation is always at the highest because it's always fun to start something new. It's always fun to hang your hat on hope. You're like, I've got this hope and I've got this potential. Like there's so much potential of what could potentially happen. So week number one, no issues. Week number two was when everything went downhill and it went downhill fast. I wanted to quit every single day. Every single day I woke up and I'm like, I'm not doing this today. Again, I analyze patterns for a living. So wanting to quit in week two, that wasn't just me. This is common across the board. So looking at this pattern from a bigger perspective, I would say weeks 2 to 6 are the prime weeks when the most amount of quitting happens. But that 7 to 14 day, that week number two, that is prime real estate for the quitting zone. Rather than going all sciencey on you, I want to give you a day-by-day look at days 9 to 13 specifically, because this is the quitting zone. I'm going to tell you the conversations in my own head. Like, what was I saying to myself that made it so easy to quit, and why I didn't quit, what I did instead. Because I want you to be more prepared on your own journey. And especially because for me, every single day from 9 to 13 just kept getting worse. Because of the emotional eating work that I've done, it was easy for me to get locked back in with my nutrition. So this whole lock-in challenge was fitness, nutrition, and, just some other stuff. But fitness and nutrition primarily, nutrition was easy to get locked back in because of all the work that I did. So no issues with nutrition. So the focus on days 9 to 13 that I want to share with you are going to be more on fitness because that was where I was really struggling. We'll start with day 9. I did not get a good night's sleep that night, and I had a packed schedule that day. Old Holly, overweight Holly, would have made an excuse. I would have justified it. I would have said, this is why I can't go to the gym this morning. But instead, when I woke up, my very first thought was, when can I fit my workout in and how can I make it the most efficient? So my brain went to work with my schedule and processing a few options, and boom, I had my game plan all within seconds. This is an identity problem, an identity solution. When I was overweight, I had the identity of an overweight person, and my behaviors and my actions were based on that identity. But now, because I'm someone who has the identity of having a healthy weight, I'm someone who is locked in with her discipline. That identity created different behaviors and actions. So I was really proud of day 9. Day number 10. This was the first day where I laid in bed. I did not want to go to the gym. I woke up at 4:15 and all I could think about was how busy my day was, how I didn't have time to go to the gym. I don't want to do it. Maybe I'll work out at home. Maybe I'll just skip today. It's just one day. It's not going to make a difference. Those were the first thoughts in my head the second I woke up. Old Holly, overweight Holly, she would have listened to the excuses. I would have justified my actions. But instead, I locked into that discipline of getting up and doing the thing. It was not easy that day. There was a mental struggle that was going on, but I did it. And this is where I think a lot of women think, oh, I just need better accountability, or I need a coach to help keep me accountable. But the difference between not getting results and getting the results that you want, that it's what you do in your own head at 4:15 in the morning when you don't want to. I did not have a coach or a program in bed with me at 4:15 in the morning because that would just be weird. You have to figure out a way to want it badly enough. You should not look to a coach to keep you accountable. You should look to a coach to help you become accountable to yourself. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Day 11. Day 11 was the second day in a row where I woke up and I'm like, I can't do this. Only that day, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, wide awake, totally exhausted. I could not go back to sleep. My head is spinning in a million directions. And I'm like, I am not going to the gym today. I can't do this. And especially to pour salt in the wound, it was leg day and leg day. But I went. I went to the gym. It was not pretty at all. But I showed up. And it was actually kind of funny because I've got different playlists for the different body parts that I'm working on in the gym. And so I'm in the middle of my workout and leg day, and I'm listening to Linkin Park, and it was that song where Chester's screaming in my ear. He's like, put me out of my misery. And I'm like, yes, Chester, I am first in line. That was day 11. Day number 12. Day number 12 was the third day of waking up and wanting to quit. Because when I woke up, I actually was a little more motivated to go to the gym. But when I woke up, I jumped on the scale and I gained a pound. I had been fully locked in the last 12 days with fitness and nutrition, fully locked in. I showed up when I didn't want to. I was on point with my discipline. But that day, the scale mocked me. I mean, it was literally on the floor, looking up at me, laughing at all of my hard work. And it's rewarding me because I gained a pound. But here's what I did different. Instead of feeling all down on myself, I actually just laughed back at the scale. As a holistic health coach, I understand the bigger picture, and we're going to get into that in a minute. Now, before we get into day 13, I want to connect the patterns here because this is your CSI Red Yarn moment behind why day 7 to 14 is the quitting zone. Week 2 is when the excitement has worn off and the novelty is gone. Week 2 is when you're still extremely disciplined, but you're not seeing results, or even worse, you're gaining weight. Week number 2 is when you lose all of the motivation and the obstacles in life start winning. When life starts getting hard and staying committed to doing the thing gets more difficult. Week number 2 is when your brain's predictive patterns kick in. Your brain is like, hey, wait a minute. This is hard. You're not getting any results. You always quit when you've done this before. So you know what? Just go back to your old ways because it's easier. This brings us to day 13. Day 13 was actually really cool. It was when I started to connect an interesting pattern between my dating life and weight loss. And I think you're going to get geeked out with this. I was married for 14 years. I was really good at being a wife. I am a true man's woman. I love being married. I know how to be married. And on the flip side, I've been alone and in a lot of isolation the last 3.5 years. I am really good at being alone. But being 54 and dating for the first time since 2008, I'm a fish out of water. I don't know what to do. There's no rules, there's no game plan, there's no order, and I don't know how to play that game. I don't know how to do this in between thing with meeting a guy and going on a date and trying to get into like, I don't understand how this works. You are a smart woman, and I know you're getting that connection between my dating life and weight loss because you're really good at being overweight. You know the rules, you know what you're doing. This is a very comfortable lifestyle for you. And there were probably times in your life when you had a healthier weight and you were really good at that at the time. But you don't know what to do with this middle ground. You don't know how to go from being overweight to being a healthy weight because there's no rules, and the rules that you do follow, nothing works. So you're thinking, why can't I just go from being overweight to being a healthy weight without all of this nonsense in the middle? Just like I'm trying to going from, being single to getting married with all nonsense in the middle. Is this starting to click for you? That losing weight is not just about losing weight. I mean, I've lived this, I've coached this, I look at patterns for a living, and it took me 13 full days to figure this out. But here's what this means for you. I have two big takeaways that I want to share with you about week 2 and the quitting zone. First, if you only focus on quitting, if you only focus on how you feel in that moment, if you only focus on what the scale says, it's easy to quit. Week 2 is when quitting is handed to you on a silver platter. But when you can start to think long term, when you understand there are always going to be rough days, there's always going to be days when you don't want to do the thing. There's always going to be days when your weight is going to fluctuate. That is when you understand this is a natural part of the process. Your weight loss journey, it's not a decision of I want to lose weight and then all of a sudden every single day everything's perfect. You always want to do the thing, you always want to get up and go to the gym, you always want to eat healthy, and you're just going to lose weight every single day. No, that is not how it works. When you focus on locking in every single day, when you focus on fueling your body and feeding your body, when you focus on improving your metabolic health, that is when you are going to experience long-term sustainable results. The second takeaway is that I fully understand that what I just said, it sounds really good on a podcast. But after coaching hundreds of women, I am not going to ignore the fact that it is not easy to implement in real life. And that's exactly why I am in the process of creating a brand new program. It is a back to basics approach to healthy and sustainable weight loss. And I'm calling it the Sustainable Weight Loss Machine because that's exactly who I want you to become. It is a step-by-step game plan designed by someone who has struggled with her weight and emotional eating for 40 years, someone who has elite level FBI pattern analysis, and someone who is a 20-year PMP and project manager. So not only is it designed to give you the structure so that you are less likely to quit, I decided to do something that I have never seen done before in the weight loss industry. One of the bonuses you are going to get inside of the program, it is called the I Quit Protocol. Now, I know this sounds crazy, and especially after everything that I shared with you today. So just stay with me. Weight loss should be a long-term journey. I want you to think 1 year at a minimum. Slow and steady is always going to win. And over this time, you are going to quit. It's not a matter of if, but when. Even for the most disciplined women and even with the best protocol out there. I am being real and practical here. So as the old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. The I Quit protocol, it is psychology based to meet you exactly where you're at. So it's going to help you to quit the right way, and it's going to give you everything that you need to get back on track with the least amount of downtime. Now, at the time that this recording is live, I might still be accepting beta testers in the program. But worst case, you can always get on the priority list to be first notified when the program opens up in a couple of months. So I'll leave a link in the show notes and look for the link for Sustainable Weight Loss Machine. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Holly Bertone, and this is Weight Loss Forensics.